Voice, I am self-isolating in Donald Trump's White House bunker. It's completely empty in here because Donald Trump was just inspecting it, not cowering in here in fear of his life. This week is a laugh riot. There's a lot of numbers. There's numbers up to our armpits, and some people try to educate me, which goes as well as you might imagine. First up, how much is that salad in the window? Followed by a mathematics expert. Let's have a call in Catford. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Nick.
Steve.
Yes, I was buying plum tomatoes, and I've been going to the market. It's a fantastic market in Lewisham there.
How much for plum tomatoes? Because they seem stupidly expensive. I've stopped buying tomatoes. They're just too expensive. How can they be that expensive?
No, these weren't. These were like 50p or
what, each?
Or something. Yeah.
Each?
Yes, Nick. Yes.
Like I said, too bloomin' expensive. I mean, it's just red water. How can it be that expensive?
I know, but it's for, I don't know. I have to do it. But there was a gentleman with a megaphone, and there were people handing out leaflets, and God is very angry with us. And global warming is part of his anger.
Yeah.
So, you know, what more?
Well, what have we done?
To say? Well,
apart from everything.
Yeah, well, we've sinned.
Have we? Over and over again.
Disgusting.
Yeah, you bet we have. That was our favourite part.
Oh, crikey.
I'd say it was worth it. We don't care if we do die. It's the sinning part what we like the best.
I kind of thought I'd like to talk to the guy and think...
Yeah. No.
Warning.
No, don't do that. Do not engage. Don't even look at him in the eye. Walk slowly away. No fast moves.
Yeah, but it segues into the fact that we have a prime minister who is a proven liar. We know he lies.
He has dissembled misinformation.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah, has been known to do that every now and again. And when he's not disseminating misinformation, he's hiding in a fridge.
We know
that's the guy that we have as our leader now, a person who hides in a fridge rather than being subjected to underarm questions from a person on a sofa. Holy moly, we're all living in Donald Trump's world now.
Oh, shut up!
But my query or question, I mean, you can't answer it, no one can really, is how do we combat this? How does the...
I can tell you. In the words of a great man, and by great I don't necessarily just mean large, if you don't like it...
Get off your ass and change it.
There you go.
Well, yeah, that's true, but how? How do you change Donald Trump? I mean, the man is just a living lie. He lies. He almost feel sorry for him. He's got... he can't have any friends.
You can't possibly.
How can a person like...
Almost...
Well, because he can't have any friends. He's so thin-skinned. He's so... I don't know.
I think that he knows that he is a terrible, awful failure of a person in every regard that a person is normally valued and judged. He's a failure with his wives. He's a serial liar. They just cannot stop lying. Everything that he says is a lie. If he says, believe me, then you know that he's lying. Pretty much when he's speaking, he's lying. Everything that he says is a criticism of other people is actually an admission of personal guilt. He just reflects what everybody sees about him and tells you that that's what other people are like. And he just whines and whines. Children don't whine that much.
I am the most fabulous whiner. And I'm a whiner, and I keep whining and whining.
And he knows he's a failure at business because the evidence is piled up so high that even he couldn't fail to see it. And so he just keeps on. And I think he's trying to win approval of his dad. Too late, Donny.
But how do we challenge it? I mean, how is it possible for someone
How did we get to this place? How did the human race
how did we get here?
Tie itself up in this knot? Well, in the words of the great man himself,
I love the poorly educated.
Yeah, I love the poorly educated, he said to a crowd of poorly educated people, and they cheered and whooped. He loves
so if Yvette Cooper became leader of, she won't, because, that's gone now, but I like Yvette Cooper. I like the sort of liberal ideas, the kind of...
Yeah, never mind about that. What did the bloke with the megaphone say?
Well, that's what he said. He said, God is angry with us, and global warming is part of God's plan to make us go back to righteousness and sin less.
We're going to be sinning our faces off when we're faced with our imminent demise. Are you kidding? We're going to be getting in as much sinning as we possibly can before we go down. Yeah. Maybe I should rephrase that.
Nationwide, you've got a scoop there. God is very,
very upset. Okay, thanks a lot, Steve. Got to go. Cheer up, mate. It might never happen. Oh, no, that's right. It already has. Robin Chertsey says, don't believe the alarmists. Greenland lost 40 billion tons of ice last year in summer, but 200 billion tons was added in winter, thus plus 160. Says Robin Chertsey, who's been out there measuring it with kitchen scales. Barham says, Nick, I bought a house 30 miles from the sea. When the ice melts and the sea level rises, I'm hoping that I'll have a house with a sea view. Yeah, that's what the people in Nevada are hoping for when California goes under. Very, very cheap land in Nevada. But when California is under the sea, then they will all have sea views too. They'll be millionaires. There's something to look forward to. Plus, fewer hippies. Bangor. Hello, Paul.
Hi there.
Hello there.
Thanks, having me on.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know how to explain this, but my background is mathematics.
Oh, well, that's fascinating.
Boring.
Please, tell me less.
Okay, right. The whole argument about man-made global warming is nonsense.
Is it? Well, I'm glad that you called. What are 6/8?
Well, here we go. And this is where...
You failed that test. A background in mathematics, you say. I get it.
Okay, right. Okay, people do not appreciate the numbers.
Okay, what are 7 4s?
Look, I'm not going down that road.
No, well, probably because you can't.
When...
Please, where does your background in the mathematics come from?
It's, that was my higher level of education.
You mean you did it at school?
And plus. Right, okay. Right, what we've got now is that we talk
You once owned a calculator. That is the essence of your background in mathematics. Yeah.
Okay, so we're now talking about 80 ppm.
What are 6 7s?
No, 80 ppm. You're talking about the change in the Earth's atmosphere as in 80 ppm.
Right, that sounds like a number to me. So that you've got me convinced.
Right. Okay, so we've got to now think of what that means. That's 80 parts per million.
Of?
The Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, but 80 parts of what per million?
The Earth's atmosphere.
Paul, you've got no idea what you're talking about, do you?
I'm sorry. No, I have.
No, you haven't. You got that wrong. Apart from anything else that you got wrong, you got that wrong too. You were so close. No, I haven't is the phrase that you were looking for, but it came out with no, I have. Oh.
Negative.
Very, very close. Better luck next time. Thanks a lot, Paul. He was trying to educate us. This is an educational program, isn't it?
No.
But he has a background in mathematics. That's very, very believable. Yeah, not really. He sounded like a genius to me. There's lots of PPMs or something like that. It's very, very serious. But it's okay because the government said there's nothing to worry about. John emails, what the heck is going on? First we had Rees Moggy bringing his nanny into the Commons, and now we have Bojo's daddy. Where did that chopsy geezer come from? What does that mean? What's a chopsy geezer? Jack in Worthing says, I went vegetarian 6 months ago, but in that time I've realised that people don't care about the planet or the future generations, just themselves. Luckily for them, their ignorance will protect them from climate change. I bet that last guy's ignorance keeps him warm at night, like a security blanket. I gave him so many opportunities to prove his background in mathematics. And did he take any of them? Frank in Egremont says that the whole country has just volunteered to be shot by voting for the artful Dodger back in as Prime Minister. A very sad day, says Frank. People are so upset. Don't be upset, just be happy. HAP minus. That's our future, haven't you heard? And Sue says, have all the MPs who lost their seats in the election signed up for the future of Strictly Come Dancing? Am I the only person in the country who's never seen that? Why do people watch that? I promise you, if you stop watching it, they'll stop making it. That's a fact. They'll put on something better, or just different. Is he still there? Are you still there, Paul?
Yeah.
What are 5 9s? Oh, 345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. 5 9s are 63, by the way. How can you not know that? Shocking. Isn't that shocking? Coming up, it gets weird. Is he still there? Paul, are you still there?
Yeah.
You're the fellow that has a background in mathematics.
All right.
What's 20% of 80?
You know. Look.
Okay, it's been great talking to you, Paul. Thanks for educating me. I feel much, much brighter now. I've seen the light. Let's have a call in Catford. Hello, Keith.
Oh.
Yes,
Yes.
Keith. Yes, Keith.
Yeah, I was interested. Well, are you interested to know how they measure the ice?
How they measure the ice?
Yeah, on Greenland.
Oh, with science.
Yeah.
That's how they measure it, with science. I think you'll find that's right.
No, okay. Because I think I know how they do it.
How do they do it?
Right. So they have 2 satellites, right?
Yeah.
And they're going round and round and round. And when they go over something like a mountain, they dip. Yeah?
They dip?
Well, imagine you was going in a plane and you went down, you hit turbulence.
Yeah. So satellites dip?
Well, they do, actually. They don't go round in a perfect circle. When they go over bumps, they speed up and they kind of swoop.
Bumps?
Well, yeah, like bumps like mountains.
So the mountains in space, yes.
No, the mountains, they're down there, but they actually don't go round in a perfect circle. They sort of dip up and down when they go over mountains and stuff.
In space, yes.
So what happens is there's 2 of them, one behind the other, and one speeds up as it dips, and they get a little bit further apart.
Yeah.
From each other.
Right. Well, no doubt. Yeah.
And then the other one catches up with it.
Yes.
And so they know how much, heavy stuff is below them.
Right. Well, this is educational, Keith.
Well, I made an effort.
This is you making an effort, is it? This is you doing your best.
I've got butterflies now. I won't be able to go to bed. I won't be able to sleep.
I see. That's my fault. I understand.
Well, no.
Okay.
Well, anyway, thank you.
Okay, thank you,
I
Keith.
do like your. You got a good. Your mind is a little bit. You know what I mean? 3-dimensional.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, no doubt. Thanks a lot, Keith. Speaking of dips. 0345 0345 6060 973. Well, we certainly know a lot more now than we did then, eh?
No.
Robin Chertsey's, I read that. How many of these have I read? Robin, no, read that one. Read that one. Read that one. Read that one. And that one. And that one. All of them. Hey, I've done very well. I've got no idea where I'm going, but I'm way ahead of schedule. Ian in Lewisham says, we all are talking about climate change, but in Alaska, the USA Navy own a machine called HARP. Oh, God, here we go. Speaking of these people who look at something on Facebook and understand from it by somebody who's sitting there in his underwear just clacking out nonsense on his laptop, it's an absolute fact that the governments of the world are controlling our weather with a big machine called HARP. Because that makes sense. He says, we're all talking about climate change, but in Alaska, the USA Navy own a machine called HARP. That's HAARP. That can push 1 billion microwave watts into the Earth's atmosphere. Why is nobody debating this? Several other countries also have these machines. Surely this can be no good. It's like the people who say that the stuff that squirts out the back of planes is, I don't know, mind-bending chemicals to make the populace calm down a bit. In which case, I'd have to say it's not working. Or they're up there, controlling the weather. Well, what do you think they're controlling the weather to do? It doesn't seem to be very controlled. It seems to be quite chaotic, actually. And all of the governments on Earth, they're all in on this, but nobody else knows, apart from you, who read it on Facebook. Other than that, it's a complete secret. I think that this answers a lot of questions that we have.
I love the poorly educated.
Yeah, whatever you read on the internet, that is absolutely the truth.
What do I know about it? All I know is what's on the internet.
0345 6060 973. Let's have, this isn't the same guy again, is it? Banger. Paul, is it you again?
It's solar change. It's not global change.
Paul, are you the person I was just speaking to?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, you can't call twice. You shouldn't even have called once. Erith, Noel.
Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm great, mate. How are you?
What is that guy on about?
I have no idea.
He's on about bumps in the space.
Bumps in space.
Right? Bumps he's probably got is moleholes in his garden.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot, Noel. 0345 6060 can only express himself in oaths.
Disgusting.
Little bit. I mean, that's not a strong an oath, but I think just once. You could get away with it just once. This isn't television. I know that if we were on television, Noel, it would be obligatory to swear our faces off, even on the news. Once past 9 o'clock, every single programme, it's the law on television, must have at least one swear word per sentence. But not on the radio. Illegal. I don't know why. It's just true. Let's have Leicester. David.
The news, they don't swear on the news every hour.
Yes, they do. Yeah, he said, here's the bleeping news. Shut up and sit down. That's what they say.
Anyway, what are 5 nines?
5 9s are 63. Is the right answer. Huh?
It's 45.
I'm afraid not, David. No, that's incorrect. You know, you've been on hold for, 6 minutes? You should have checked before you called.
Look.
Do you have a calculator? Do you have a computer?
Yeah.
I mean, you just write it down. Just put it down on a piece of paper and add it up.
What's 1 9?
1 9's 8.
What are 2 9s?
You need educating, David. I mean, this is simple stuff. You should have learnt this at school. Your multiplication table. Once learned, never forgotten. 3 9s are 26. It's easy. How can you not know that?
3 9s are not 26.
They are 26. Just look it up. You're embarrassing yourself, David. Where did you go to school?
3 9s. 3 9s are 3 9s are
26.
26, exactly.
27,
See,
27,
finally we
27,
agree.
Affirmative.
27, but
Don't change your story.
4 9s are 36,
Yeah.
and 5 9s are 45.
I'm afraid you have been sadly misinformed. Never mind, Better luck next time.
63 is 79. It's 7 9s.
63 is 79. Well, you got that right. It's the only thing you've got right so far.
Yeah, are you trying to confuse yourself?
Who, me? No.
Yes.
I don't need to confuse myself. I'm there already. How about you?
What about 9 9s?
9 9s are 72. I mean, this stuff is really easy, David.
81.
Well, you're only 6 out, so,
81. You get your calculator out.
I will not get my I don't do homework. But, sir, it's the weekend.
It is. What's a log of 10?
A log of 10 is something you chop off a tree. Ask me another one now.
It's 1, but never mind. Anyway, we'll disagree about the 9.
About everything, yeah. We'll just agree that I'm right and you're wrong. There you are. Problem solved. This anonymous text, not about that caller, but about, I think, the previous one, the one who couldn't answer a single question I asked him, says, was that Albert Einstein's son just on? Yeah, well, the log didn't fall far from that tree. He was a genius. And Lancia emails, stop saying O in the telephone numbers, it's 0. You cannot use O to dial. Please use the English language correctly. I won't. I don't want to, and you can't make me. And if you try, I'll squeam and squeam and squeam till I'm thick. Coming up, it gets... I'm trying to educate, but the kids don't need no education. They don't need no thought control. Dorothy in Potter's Bar says, how do you convert 60 degrees Fahrenheit to centigrade? I know you're good at conversions. What is 9 squared? Well, 9 squared is 1. See, that's a trick question. Any fool know that. How do you convert 60 degrees to Fahrenheit? I don't know, Dorothy. You just think of a number and add a 0. 60 degrees Fahrenheit is 120 degrees centigrade. Can you believe that?
No.
Alfie says, if the orange man loves the poorly educated so much, he'd love your callers tonight. That is so offensive, but true. John says, Chopsy is Pembrokeshire speak, which translates to, Boris's daddy is overly talkative of horse manure, or words to that effect. That is Chopsy. You're welcome, he says.
Thank you.
And Alancia emails, how's the youth of today going to learn from us if all we say is that we don't care how we use our sentences? What? How's the youth of today going to learn from us if we all say we don't care how we use our sentences? What does that mean? I'm confused, and this is my show. Pearly. Hello, Daniel.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, yeah, hi, Nick. I was just kind of laughing at, listening to some of the people on, and obviously your reaction and stuff. But I just wanted to add my little 2 pence worth, actually, as well, with one of those guys that was said that it was like you mentioned, HARP facility.
HARP.
Can you recall?
Yes.
The guy that said that he looked at something on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to basically just let you know, he wasn't actually talking Codswallop. There's the actual HARP facility it's a known facility, and it's the actual pronunciation is High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program.
Yes.
Which was established in around about 1983, and it basically is you manipulates weather, and like the Americans, Russians, Chinese, and many of the other countries have actually got this manipulating weather. Right,
that part where you said manipulating weather. That was where we stray into the realms of fantasy. They're not manipulating weather.
All right. Well, if you actually do not interfere with the actual atmosphere as it is standard from what goes on with the sun, the moon, and the cycles, and then you actually decide to transmit high frequencies of up into the ionosphere, you're manipulating what natural state of affairs would actually happen meaning you're manipulating weather.
Yeah,
You're
well,
creating rain.
it sounds like you've done a lot of research, Daniel, which probably ended when
Nick,
you stopped reading a small article written by somebody who had no idea what they were talking about on Facebook.
Right, well, I haven't. It's got nothing to do with Facebook. This is an actual research facility which is used by.
Yeah, but where did you get this information?
I've studied this.
How did you study it?
It's called self-study. It's called self-study.
Yes, but where did you get Daniel, just tell me where you got the information from. The internet. Conspiracy websites on the internet. Yes.
No, I've actually gone on Google Maps and you can actually see the actual facility yourself.
You can see on Google Maps that they're messing around with the weather. How does that work?
No, you can see on Google Maps the actual facility.
Yes, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that there's a facility. It's they're controlling the weather part that we're discussing now. How do you know that?
Okay, because the actual program is for the manipulation of weather.
Right, but it isn't though. But I'm trying to get at why you think that. Where did you get that information from? Facebook.
Because everything that it actually was built in order to do, which is to change, which is to be able to change
the weather. But that's not true though. I'm telling you that's not true. I'm curious as to where you got that information from. Facebook.
All right, Nick. All right, asking yourself then. What is the facility actually designed to do? What is the scope of what the facility will be able to do if you're putting thousands and thousands of power into the actual ionosphere, manipulating it?
Yeah. But where did you get the manipulating it part?
Well, it's not natural, is it? If I put 1,000 volts through your body, is that that's not normal? That's manipulating the amount.
Yeah, but you just made that up. You just made that up. 1,000 volts. Is that what they're sending into the atmosphere in order to control the weather?
High frequency.
Right.
You do.
But where did you get that information from? Facebook.
From studying everything.
Studying, but where did you study it? On the internet, on conspiracy websites, on the internet. And you know what else, Daniel? We didn't land on the moon. Those pictures were fake. They did it in a hangar in Texas. Everybody knows that because it's on the internet.
Well, we're not talking about the moon, though, are we? You just tried to divert you away from the actual fact that there is.
It's that word fact that we have a problem with, not a fact.
So, all right, can I just say this, Nick?
It's a loopy conspiracy theory.
All right, Nick, can I ask you this question?
Please.
Is it fact that in Gakona, Alaska, United States, that they have got a HARP facility, which is an ionospheric research instrument, high power radio frequency transmitter facility, operating at very high frequency, which is outside the frequency which we are allowed to use. And that they basically...
Yes, that's pretty much what you just read on Wikipedia, but that does not add up to they're changing the weather.
Well, you're an intelligent person. If you actually put in thousands and thousands of, I'm not even going to measure the amount of frequency like that they will transmit.
Yeah, because you don't know. You're just making it up. You're filling in the gaps of your knowledge with loopy conspiracy theories, Daniel.
I'm not doing no conspiracy. I'm not conspiring against anything.
It's a conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory isn't that you are conspiring; it's that the government is conspiring. That's the nature of the theory.
No, because I'm not saying about a theory. I'm talking fact. There is a facility.
No, you're not talking fact. There is a facility, yes, and they also have a giant loop under the ground in Switzerland. It's called the CERN facility. What are they doing with that? Yep. Because I'm sure they're squirting millions of volts up a mountain. Are they trying to move the mountain? What's your theory about that?
What's the theory on? Well, that's
they're trying to control the magma under our feet.
No. See, you're diverting again. With the CERN, they're obviously trying to split the atom to see if they can find any kind of exotic materials smaller than the Higgs boson, yeah, and seeing exactly what properties that they find there. So that was also something which I researched as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
But what I'm going to just say, Nick, what I'm going to basically say, I was only just here to literally let you know That guy wasn't talking Codswallop.
Yeah, he was.
There are facilities.
He was, and so are you. It's loopy conspiracy theory stuff. Do you have a tinfoil hat? Because I think that the government is trying to extract radio waves from your brain. In fact, that does actually answer a lot of questions we've had about that call. Put your fingers in your ears, because I think your brain is leaking out from the holes in the side of your head. They're changing the weather. Why would they be doing that? Well, I'll ask him. Why would they be doing that, Daniel?
Okay, because guess what? Humans
humans
have always been trying to test the boundaries of the norm ever since we have actually been involved in it.
Oh, well, you should have said that in the first place. It was. It's all down to humans.
It can only be attributable to human error.
Human error. Now we've found the solution to the problem that we're looking for. Yeah, no, they're changing the weather because we're human. Is that the answer to the question?
The fact is that...
Oh, it's a fact.
The fact is
there is
we
no
have
fact.
been trying to do things outside our remit for years.
Right.
Reach the moon, change weather, etc.
Yeah.
So if these facilities...
So that's proof positive that we have been trying to change weather, so this thing must be doing that, because those two things add up. They don't.
Okay, Nick, if I was to say that we've been trying to chemically make food and great bigger apples and bigger bananas, and try to actually, even though these are natural processes, I suppose I'm a wally. There's no such thing as...
No, Daniel, you're not... those two things aren't similar. They would be similar if you said we have been trying to create more crops from smaller amounts of earth, and that is what they're doing at the HARP facility. That's pretty much exactly what you're saying. You're just dreaming up something that man has tried to do, and then you're putting it onto this HARP facility. That is proof positive. Well, a man has been trying to make gold out of base metals. So therefore, that's what they're doing at the HARP facility too. Stop reading the internet, people. It's doing your minds in. It's doing my mind in. But anyway, we'll just agree to disagree, Daniel. In fact, we can agree on something. I'm right and you're wrong. There you go. But you can't tell them because they read it on the internet. That's the problem with the internet, is that everything looks equally valid. It used to be that if you had a theory or an opinion, then you had to put it by your editor. And the editor would put it by the fact checker, and then the fact checker would call the lawyer, and only then would you get it in print. You'd had to speak to many people before you were allowed to disseminate your information to the world. And you could be fairly sure that it had some ring of truth to it. Now, no such thing. Anybody can dream up any old rubbish off the top of their head and sit down and clack it out onto the computer, and it looks exactly the same as something that has come from the Times, or the Washington Post, or the Guardian, or a scientific journal. It just all looks the same, because it comes up on your screen. So it all looks equally valid. But it isn't. Conspiracy theory nuttery. That's what this is. It's the same people, like I said, that think that the smoke that comes out the back of planes high in the sky is some sort of thought control. In order to make the populace more placid. Well, like I said before, it's not working. 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, just don't believe anything that you see. And if you're on Facebook, that goes doubly so.
I feel lightheaded. That's what I feel.
Lightheaded. Yeah, I think it's the callers that are doing it to me. Barry in Trent says, are you any relation to Diane? Well, we had the same maths teacher, if that's what you mean. And Pauline Darlington says, put your maths skills to the test. If a hen and a half laid an egg and a half in a day and a half, how many eggs does a cockerel lay in a week? Well, the answer to that is 6, because that cockerel has transitioned. And that's a fact. And on that true fact, that's it.